being, a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being. When we are saying health, it is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being. After that, safety, absence of danger of physical harm, freedom from unacceptable risk of harm. Okay. Welfare, facilities or workplace comfort such as eating, washing, toilet facilities, and other facilities which is providing by the employer. Okay. Whatever the facilities is provided by the employer to the employees, these are the facilities will come under the welfare facilities. Then environmental protection are measures to prevent harm to the environment. Okay. How are we going to protect the environment and what are the measures we require to protect the environment? Those things will come under the environmental protection. Okay. After that, alarm. Alarm means, if we will describe alarm, it is A for as, L for low, A for as, R for reasonably, P for practicable. Okay. After then, SFAIRP. S for so, F for far, A for as, I for is, R for reasonably, P for practicable. Okay. These are the line also we will use in health and safety, what you call health and safety industries. So that hazard. Hazard definition is very simple. Anything which can cause us harm, that is a hazard. Okay. It could be anything. It could be noise. It could be physical. It could be chemical. Anything. Anything which you can name and that can harm you in any way, that is a hazard. Okay. Now the second one is a risk. Risk is the likelihood that the harm from one or more particular hazards realized or occurs. Risk equal to likelihood and the severity. Okay. So you can say that risk is the combination of likelihood and the severity. Okay. How frequently that risk can occur and what is the severity of that risk. Okay. That weighs the risk. After that, accident. Accident is an unplanned, unwanted sequence or events which results in loss of some kind. Okay. It is an unplanned or unwanted event, and after this incident, some loss will happen. Okay. Incident and unplanned, unwanted sequence of events which had the potential to result in loss of some kind. Okay. Incident means that has the potential to cause harm, but it didn't happen. Accident already done. Okay. So incident and near miss, you can say both are same. Okay. Morals and money. Introduction to key terms. The topic of health and safety makes use of keywords and phrase. Some important definitions are health. So the long definition, if you want for the health, the absence of disease or ill health, that is a health. Okay. For example, asbestos creates a health risk because if you inhale asbestos dust, okay, you may contract lung cancer at some stage later in life. Okay. As we know that whenever we are inhaling any dust, okay, if the dust particles are very less, they will go more deeper in our body, okay, through the inhalation process. Okay. Microfiber. Okay. So that's why dust particles we have to protect, so we should not inhale those also. Okay. Health relates not only to physical ill health but also to psychological, okay, ill health. Example, exposure to extreme stress can lead to acute mental collapse for or a nervous breakdown. Okay. After that, we have the safety, the absence of risk of serious personal injury. Okay, that is a safety. For example, walking under a load suspended from a crane during a lifting operation is not safe because the load falls. Serious personal injury or death could result. Okay, staying out of the danger area result in safety. Okay. After that, we have the welfare. Access to basic facilities such as toilet facilities, hand wash station, drinking water, eating facilities, first aid, and so on. Hygiene facilities. So all of these facilities, which is provided by the employer to the employees. Okay. So all these facilities will come under welfare facilities. Okay. Nowadays, big companies, they are focusing about the welfare facilities. They are focusing more and more. And there is audit also is conducted for these welfare facilities, how the employees we are keeping, what are the conditions of the welfare facilities which we are providing. Okay, so now these type of audits are increasing day by day through the client audit, third party audit, and ISO audits also they are doing for these things. The moral reasons for managing health and safety. Okay, this is very important. These questions can also come in the exam. Okay, what is the moral reason for making health and safety? Okay, they can ask you in like in this way. So we will understand this one. Okay, do not just read the questions. Okay, words. We have to understand this one. So it will be in our mind for lifetime. Okay. So the following global statistics have been published by the International Labour Organization (ILO) as part of their Safe Work program. You don't need to remember the actual figure, give them to highlight the scale of the problem. Okay, there are over 350,000 work-related fatal accidents reported each year. Okay, so this much of accidents, fatal accidents, is reported in ILO every year. Okay, half of these of occur in agriculture. Okay. So these of the incident, you can say that they are in health and safety. Okay, just a minute. Okay, so when health and safety is not managed properly, people can get killed and injured. Okay, and gruesome ways of or suffer terrible disease that have a massive impact not only on them but also their dependents, families, friends, and colleagues. This suffering is morally unacceptable. Okay, whenever the workers they are getting any accident or incident, it is not only affecting them, it is affecting to their society, it is affecting to their families. Okay, whoever is dependent on them, because maybe in the family member there is only one person who is earning the money. Now he is got like disabled, so now he cannot earn the money. So how his family will gonna survive? So it will affect his family very badly. Okay. Second thing, employers control the premises, equipment, and working practices used by workers to produce the goods and service that the employer requires. Okay. Second thing, employers, they are the responsible to control the premises, equipment, and working practices used by the employee to produce the goods and services that the employed requires. Okay. That is the second reason. Third reason is employers therefore have a moral responsibility to provide safe and healthy working conditions. In simple terms, the moral reason can be summarized as it is the right thing to do. Okay, that is the third thing. Has a moral responsibility to provide the safe and healthy working conditions to the employees. Okay, so that's why it is the requirement. Okay, so that's why they need to provide the safe working conditions to the employee. Okay. After that, employers therefore have a moral responsibility, as I said. Okay, it is right and proper that workers go to work to earn a living and return home in the same state, not suffering from ill health or serious physical injury. Okay, it is a right, it is a fundamental right. Okay, that each and every worker who is going to work, they should return from the work in a same state without any disease, without any illness, nothing. Okay, the same state, it is the right. After that, people expect this as a fundamental right. As I said, it is a fundamental right of the people who's working in any workplace. Okay, they're expecting that the worker, the employed, the company, they will protect them in the workplace. Okay, and society also expects it. Over time, this societal expectation has been translated into legal standards. Now it is a legal standards. Okay, if you will see most of the countries, they have it is this moral safe moral obligations for the health and safety. It is a legal standard now. Okay, now you cannot put any employee in any dangerous any unsafe conditions or unsafe way, so they can harm themselves. Okay, so you can't do that. In this way, the moral argument drives legislation. So it is a law now. Okay, most of the countries. So these are the points which I have explained you now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 points are there. Okay, just keep remember these 6 points because this is very important. Okay, during the exam also you can get these type of questions. Okay, now the financial reason, this is also very important, why we need to manage health and safety. Okay, so there is another reason, financial reason also is there to manage the health and safety. Okay, personal injury, accidents, work or ill health, and property damage cost money. Okay, so that's why the company, if they are facing such things, they will lose the money. So that's why they need to manage these things. Okay, when an accident or ill health occurs, there will be direct and indirect costs associated with that event. So that's why they need to manage the health and safety to avoid any cost, financial thing. Okay, when an accident occurs, the organization will face both direct and indirect cost. Okay, so during the exam also you can get you may be asked that what are the direct and indirect costs. Okay, so you can explain in this way. Direct cost, the measurable cost arising directly from the accident. Okay, example of direct cost, it is the first aid treatment, worker sick pay, repairs to or replacement of damaged requirement, equipment and buildings, loss of damaged product, lost production time while dealing with the injury. Okay, after that, we have indirect cost, those which arise indirectly as a consequences of the event. Okay, indirect costs are often difficult to quantify. Okay, precisely, and may be hard to identify because the indirect cost we cannot like measure. Okay, in a number, so it is very difficult to identify them and it is very difficult to measure them. There are some example of indirect cost, which is reduction in staff morale. So how will you measure this reduction in staff morale? We cannot. Okay, which impacts on productivity, quality, and efficiency. After then, general difficulties in recruiting and retaining staff as a result of the accident. See, some of the companies, if they have bigger accident rates, no one want to work there. Okay, because no one want to risk their life. Okay, after that, loss of goodwill of customers following delays in production and fulfilling orders. When company is not able to provide the order on time, okay, so what will happen? Customer will start to cancel their order. Okay, so in this way, what will happen? Company goodwill, which is already created in the market, that will start to go down. Okay, after that, damage to public image and business reputation. The company image in the market, which is very good now, but after several accident or incident, what will happen? That good image will start to go down. Okay, and business reputation also will go down. After then, company will not get any new contract. Okay, any new business, they will not get it. Okay. Damage to industrial relations, perhaps leading to industrial action, strikes. Some of the companies, if people they continuously getting accidents, okay, so what they will do, they will stop to work. Okay, and the strikes will come up. So in this way, what will happen? Production will stop and orders will not go on time and orders also will get cancelled. Okay, public image also it will get damaged. Okay, and the company image also in the market it will go down. Okay, so these are the main reason of financial reason why we need to manage health and safety. Okay, so these are the reason, because there is a direct and indirect cost involved. When the if the exam question will ask you what are the direct and indirect costs, you can explain these are the things. Okay, from the examples given, you can see that though more difficult to identify, the indirect cost associated with the workplace accident can be very large indeed. Okay, examples of possible insured and uninsured losses include insured cost, damage to plant, building, and equipment, compensation paid to workers, medical cost, legal cost associated with a legal claim for compensation. Okay, insured cost, you can get the insurance. Okay, nowadays not most of the company, I can say 99.9% of the companies, they are taking the insurance for all these things. Okay, these are the things are insured. But uninsured costs like production delays or downtime, loss of raw materials due to accident investigations, criminal fines and legal costs, sick pay for injured workers, overtime to make up for the lost production, hiring or training new employees, loss of business reputations. So these uninsured costs, none of the insurance company they're going to insure it. Okay. Now, employer they will not get any payback for these uninsured costs. So that is the main reason also. Okay. It is worth remembering that even if a loss is covered by insurance, most insurance policies some with an excess and with a limit. So it's saying that we know that some of the insurance companies, they will insure our some plant or some of the company, but the limit of the insurance amount will be sometimes less, and we will not get the full amount. So that is the loss also. The excess is the amount of money that will be payable by the organization before any payments is forthcoming from the insurer. Okay. The limit is the cap above which the insurer will not pay. Okay. Example, if you have 2 million pound building and contents fire insurance, but it costs 3 million to rebuild and restock your premises. Okay. You have 2 million pound insurance, but to rebuild your business, now it will cost you 3 million euro. So you are losing your 1 million euro. Then the insurer will only pay the first 2 million and the remaining sum is uninsured. Okay. Now, those are the moral and financial reason why we need to manage the health and safety. Now we're going to discuss about the legal reasons for managing workplace health and safety. Why we need to manage workplace health and safety? What is the law required? What is the law? Okay. This will be different in country to country. Okay. Somewhere ILO is if you are your country is member of the ILO, then you must follow the rules and regulation which is set by the ILO also. Okay. Or if you have any other local laws that you have to follow also. And if you are uh, certified for ISO 45001 2018, then you have to follow those standards as well. Okay. Now, the reason to follow health and safety, legal reason. Okay. First of all, to avoid prosecution. If any accident or incident will happen, what will happen? The law, okay, the legal department from the government, they will come and they will start the prosecution. They will do the investigation, accident investigation, and after that, if there is any problem from your side, then you will be prosecuted. The style of criminal and civil law now demands active management of risk, not just compliance with prescribed standards. Okay. Sometimes we will follow only those things which is written down on the law, okay, ISO standards in different books. Okay. But sometimes law, what they require, you have to go above those lines, okay, above prescribed standards. You have to do something more to control the hazards, which is not mentioned in the book, which is not mentioned in the law, which is not mentioned in the ILO standards, ISO standards. Okay, you have to do more than that. It is a specific legal requirement to safeguard the health and safety of workers and others. It is a legal requirement most of the country that whoever is using your facility, their health and safety is managed and you are avoiding to them putting in danger. Okay. After that, risk management is the cornerstone of modern health and safety law. Okay. It is required by law. Fault and no fault compensation in legal requirements. Okay, whenever we are managing the health and safety, what is the legal requirement in there? If there is any accident or incident will happen, there will be the fault based compensation system. Okay, and no fault system if we need to compensate the employee. The worker has to pursue a claim through the courts. Okay, what worker has to do, they have to file a case in the courts. Okay, the tort based system seeks to establish fault on the part of the employee. used in the UK and USA. This system is used in the UK and USA. Definitely in your countries also, they have some system to file these type of case. Okay, you can read that one. No fault systems. An expert panel makes a decision as to whether compensation should be awarded. Okay, a expert panel. The court will set a panel and they will decide whether compensation need to pay or not. It does not involve lawyers or the courts, and it is used in New Zealand and Sweden. Okay, so without court or without lawyer, okay, a expert panel will be there and they will decide whether the compensation need to be paid or not. Okay, it is in Sweden and New Zealand. Regulatory frameworks. There are some basic intentions in every country to protect people at workplace. Most responsibility rests with the employer. Laws governing this share behavioral expectation or both for both the employer and employee. The International Labour Organization ILO is an agency active in setting health and safety standards based on adopted principles. Okay, ILO, International Labour Organizations, it is an agency. They are setting the health and safety standard based on adopted principles. Health and safety is governed international by convention, ILO convention, ILO recommendations and protocols, ILO and United Nations. So these are the health and safety laws are set by the international bodies, which is ILO and United Nations, which is applicable for most of the countries. Regulatory framework, national standards. OSHA, Occupational Safety and Health Act 1970 USA. Now OSHA has been removed and it was replaced by the ISO 45001 2018, which is a health and safety management system. HSE, Health and Safety Executive, it is a UK board. Okay, and after that approved code of practice, it is also for the UK. CDM, Construction Design and Management Regulation 2007, Provision and Use of Work Equipment Regulation 1998, Workplace Health and Safety and Welfare Regulation 1992. Okay, these are the websites and documents. Okay, and codes of practice are very important. Whenever you are preparing any examination, please go through this one. You will get very good information about health and safety. Okay, and it will be very easy and helpful for you to clear your exam. Okay, now regulatory frameworks continued. The role of international standards and conventions. Individual nations have their own specific safety laws. As I said earlier, each country they have their own laws. Okay, after that, global harmonization does not truly exist, but similarity and similar basic approaches do. The International Labour Organization, part of the United Nations, is a prominent organization. How does ILO issues standards in health and safety? By means of conventions and recommendations. Okay, in the questions, examiners they can ask you that how does ILO issue standards in health and safety? So you have to say that by means of conventions and recommendations, ILO issues standards in health and safety. Okay. Now, regulatory frameworks, the role of international standards and conventions, ILO conventions and recommendations. What is a convention? Conventions create binding obligations or policies to implement their provisions, goal setting. There is no legal authority unless ratified by the member state into its own legal structure. Recommendation provided guidance on policy, legislation, and practice. Convention form a basis of detailed law in member countries. Basic minimum standards are therefore adopted, but details vary. Now, whenever they will make the conventions, okay, ILO conventions, there will be one meeting will be held every, I think every year or every 5 years, they will do one meeting. Okay. The members of the ILO, they will be there and they will put their like points for those particular kind of law. If they want to make a convention, then they will put their points over there and they will decide those points. And after then voting will be happen. And after then policies there, that will be, if it is acceptable, they will accept, all the members will accept that one, then they will implement it. After that, recommendation provided guidance on policy, legislation, and practices. Recommendation also provided on policies, legislation, and practices. Whatever policies is there in ILO, okay, if we have to modify them, if we have to update them also, recommendation also provided by the members of the ILO, okay. The role of international standards and conventions. Other United Nations agencies. Production of model regulations adopted by various agencies and ratified by national governments. Similarly, recommendations will find global harmonization and example classification of dangerous chemicals. Other agencies which is making the regulatory framework. International Organization of Standardization, ISO. As we know that ISO, they have their own standards for quality management system, health and safety management system, okay, and environment management system. The Occupational Health and Safety Assessment Series, OSHA specification 18001 2007, that was the new one, but collaboration of 13 international standard organization, that was there, but now it is removed and it is updated, replaced by the ISO 45001 2018, okay. So these are the agencies, also ISO agencies, they are setting the health and safety rules and regulations. Now, consequences of non-compliance. If we will non-comply with the health and safety, what can happen? It is a criminal offense. Why? Because it is a legal requirement. Whenever you will not follow the legal thing, it is automatically will become the criminal offense. Okay. This is due to a breach of legislation and result in the company being fined. Okay. The company may get fined. After that, individual possibly being fined or imprisoned. In UAE, I'm not sure about other country, but in UAE, if there is an incident or accident will happen, or any major accident will happen, ultimately the health and safety guy will be responsible for this one, and he will be in prison until unless if there is any investigation will happen, and that will reveal that yes, there is no issue from the health and safety guy. Okay. But if there is any issue from the health and safety guy, he is not managing and he is not reporting the things to the management, then health and safety guy has to stay behind the bar, or he has to pay the fine also. Okay. Civil liability may also arise. Compensation for injuries may be due in case of negligence. Sometimes court will ask company or the employer to pay the compensation to the employee. And these compensations sometimes are very, very high. Sometimes it's 200,000 dirham, 300, 700,000 dirham. Even I have seen that. Okay. And I have read that there was some case, okay, where the employer has paid 700,000 dirham to the employee. Okay. Because of the accident. Negligence, breach of a legal duty to exercise reasonable care towards others. Okay. What does this mean? Negligence is causing harm to someone to whom you owe a duty of care. Okay. Whom you are owning a duty of care? Your employees. Okay. If you are not providing a safe working environment to your employees, and your employees is getting hurt, then you will be the responsible for that one. Okay. It can be cause of something you did or something that you failed to do. Okay. Maybe you something did wrong. Okay. Maybe you didn't do that one. So that's why it is your problem also, and you will be fine also. The harm has to be reasonably foreseeable. After that, whatever the harm is there, that should be avoided. Okay. That should be, if the harm you cannot avoid completely, you have to less it down, you have to decrease it. Okay. At least it should be acceptable level. The employer has a duty of care towards workers and others by providing a safe place of work, safe equipment and plant, and safe system of work. Okay. Negligence may lead to compensation being paid. Okay. These are the things can happen. Now, employer's responsibility. It shall be the duty of every employer to ensure the safety, health, and safety of workplace and employees, for provide and maintain workplace machinery and equipment are safe. Safe place of work. They need to provide. They need to provide a safe plant and equipment, safe system of work. These are the things These are the basic things an employer they have to provide to their employees. Okay. Systems should be safe in all circumstances. Worker must be competent in using the safe system. If they are not competent, what the employer they have to do? They have to train them. Okay. Appropriate review, planning, and control ensure continued safety of methods. These are the plan. These are the method of statement. Equipment should be reviewed on time by time because they can cause any serious injury or damage to the plant. Okay. Accident to the employees also. Now, what is the employer's responsibility? What they should do? They have to identify the potential and recognize hazard. They have to identify the hazard and risk and ensure appropriate control measures are in place. They have to give the necessary information to the employees, how they have to give it. They have to give it through the induction. They have to give it through the training, okay, supervision. They have to provide the suitable and sufficient PPE that is related and that is required by law and that is required by machinery, any chemical, okay, and that should be suitable for the work. They have to provide the measures to deal with emergencies and accidents like first aid, okay, to deal with the emergency situation. What they have to provide it, those things need to be there. Provision and maintenance of working environment and welfare facilities. Working environment and welfare facilities, how they're going to maintain it. Okay, those are the facilities also need to be provided. Then provide safe operation, handling, storage, and transport of substances. If there is any hazardous substances, any other substances, there should be a proper and safe transportation should be provided. Handling, how we gonna handle those products, how we gonna operate those products, all the process should be there. Okay? That is the these are the basic responsibilities of the employees. The employer's legal responsibility to other persons. Who are these other persons? It can be anyone affected by their business activities. Example, visitors, contractors, legal department, members of public, etc. Generally classified as visitors or members of the public. Visitors are invitees, licensees, and lawful visitors. Unlawful visitors have different legal protection. Okay? Members of the public. Who is the members of the public? Do not fit into these categories and are not workers. Okay, members of the public are not the workers. They will use your facilities only for specific times, only for short period of time, not the workers. Because the workers, they are using your facilities continue. Okay. Warning signs should be erected, showing nature of danger and how to avoid harm. In your facilities, you have to make sure that there are danger sign, okay, hazardous sign, which is like which will help employees to get aware. Okay, so they can be aware about the hazard and they can take the necessary action also, and they will avoid those hazard and risk. Information on emergency procedures for visitors should be provided. Whenever any visitor is coming into your plant, at that time what you can do the induction. At the time of the induction, visitor induction, you can provide the emergency procedure. If there is any emergency, what they have to do, and that thing also mentioned in the induction sheet, also induction checklist. So those things you can maintain and you can maintain the document. Now, workers' roles and responsibilities. Now we done for the employees' roles and responsibilities. Now, workers' roles and responsibilities also. Convention C-155, which is a ILO convention. Okay, Article number 19 identifies worker obligations to cooperate with the employer in fulfilling them as follows. Okay, it is a worker's roles and responsibility that whatever the things are provided by the employer, they have to use that one in a safe way. PP used they have to use in a safe way. They should not work without any PP. Okay, they have to take responsible care of their own safety and others affected by their acts or omissions at work. Comply with instruction. As I said, whatever the instruction is given by the employers, they have to fulfill that one. Use safety device and protective equipment correctly, not to render them inappropriate. Okay, inoperative. Legal provisions include a duty not internationally or necessarily interface with the misuse anything provided. Sorry, provided in the interest of health and safety and welfare. They should not misuse any equipment or PPE which is provided by the employer. They have to report to their supervisor if there is any situation, any hazard, any danger, any PP is not working, okay, or any accident or incident, they need to report to their supervisor. Now, what are the workers' rights? Workers have a right to a safe workplace. Okay, that is their fundamental right. They should work in a safe place. Article number 19 of Convention C-155 adds the following rights of the employee. There shall be arrangements at the level of the undertaking under which representatives of workers are given adequate information on measures taken by the employee to secure health and safety. There will be some worker representative like your supervisor, senior supervisor, foreman, or other senior person who is dealing with the workers. Okay, these workers representatives, they should get the enough information from the employer, from the higher management, and that worker representative that should give the exact information to the employees. Okay, employees should get the exact information. May consult representative organization provided they don't disclose commercial secrets. Okay, they can consult with the representative organization. Okay, if they have any concern. Workers and representatives are given appropriate training in health and safety. They should get appropriate training. Workers and workers representative, that is their basic rights, fundamental right to get the appropriate training for their work and the task. There shall be arrangements at the level of the undertaking under which workers or representatives are enabled to inquire and are consulted by the employer. On all aspects of occupational health and safety, advisors may be brought in by mutual consent. Then worker should be reported to immediate supervisor any situation believed to present imminent or serious danger. So if there is any unsafe condition, unsafe act is there, so they should immediately report to their supervisor. Okay, employer cannot require worker to return to work when imminent or serious danger to life or health continues. If there is any health danger for your life, an employer cannot force you to go and work. Okay, you have the full right to say no, I will not work. Okay, unless you will provide me the safe working environment. Okay, it is your fundamental right. Responsibilities of health and safety practitioners. Okay, HSE officers, what is your responsibilities? Your responsibility is to provide advice and carry out certain responsibilities. You have to do the inspections, you have to supervision of health and safety programs, promotion of positive health and safety culture. Okay, if there is any risk or any hazard, you have to make sure that that hazard and risk is reported to your manager, your management team, and that risk and hazard is getting down, or you are avoiding that or removing that completely. Okay, so these are your normal responsibilities. As you are aware, you have more responsibility than these one, but these are the basic ones. General duties of supplier, manufacturers, and designers of plant and equipment. They have some legal responsibilities similar to those of an employer. Duties all others in supply chain. Okay, article number 12 of ILO convention C-155 places an obligation on national governments to legislate and control designers, manufacturers, and suppliers of articles and substances. What are the duties of manufacturers, suppliers, and designers? Those are the duties are included in Article 12 of ILO Convention C-155. You can go to that article and you can read all those duties. Okay. Now, articles. These includes plant or equipment for use by people at work. Okay, designers, manufacturers, and suppliers should ensure design and construction is reasonably safe and without risk at all reasonable times. Carry out product testing. Supply customers with information about safe use. Okay, keep customer up to date of ensuring risks. Okay, these are the responsibilities are included in the article number 12 Convention C-155 ILO. Now, what are the roles and responsibilities of enforcing authorities and other agencies? They can enter your premises anytime. Okay, take a constable or some other authority authorized person. If there is an obstruction in the execution of this duty, they can examine and investigate anytime. They will ensure premises undisrupted. They can take photograph. They can possession of items, gather information. They can inspect your facility. They can order a medical examination. They can serve you notices. Okay, they can initiate steps to prosecute also. So these are the responsibilities of authorities and other agencies. Now, HSG 65 elements of a successful health and safety management system. Okay, HSG 65 health and safety guidelines 65. So what are the things you will get it in HSG 65? First, you will get the policy. Second, there will be organizing, then planning and implementing. Then you have to measure the performance. Then you have to reviewing performance. How you will review the performance? You will review the performance through audits. Okay, these are the things you will get in HSG 65 elements. Okay, then we have the elements of health and safety management ILO, OSHA's, okay, OSH 2001. In OSH 2001, you will get policy, organizing, planning and implementing, evaluation, action for improvement. How? Through audits. Okay. Sorry. Okay. So